Very interesting, actually. I've been working on this for more than a decade now, and finite element analysis is, as in, it gives us an understanding of what the design is going to do at each and every levels. Now, at the very first level, one would appreciate that tire is probably the rarest of products which does not function at the same dimensions as it gets manufactured. It could get manufactured at a particular dimensions and deform to more than 25% different dimension, and only then perform. As in, when it gets inflated, it gets deformed by around 25%, and only then it gets goes onto the road and starts performing. There's probably no other product which does that. It comes out of the process and gets assembled as it is, and the tolerance is very, very small. So predictability is very high when you look at the other components. But when you come to tires, finite element analysis becomes critical and important, because you are looking at a dimension which could be anything from your mold dimensions. First, prediction and simulation capabilities comes at that level. And from there on, every step, now you look at wear, uniformity of wear, extent of wear, durability, then handling and performance. A tire could break and a design could get rejected at any of these levels. And all your efforts, if you have not already looked at the tire, how it is behaving, all your efforts till you got to that stage of testing have gone waste. The whole team has wasted its time. That's not something we want at all. So finite element analysis, I guess, could play a very important role, provided if it is able to get very reliable data, reliable and accurate data. In all these levels, FEA should be able to put out practical validated data, and then if it gets implemented, we have a very good tool which can significantly improve an organization's efficiency and save a lot of resources. Sustainability has been a major a formula word all over, and it deserves that kind of respect. And even in my presentation, I had shown simplicity, self-reliance, and sustainability. That is something that I personally believe in. And what I see in terms of these EV vehicles that are getting developed, one aspect of that is technology-based vehicle which can take care of all kinds of concerns and have a very good rider versus vehicle interaction. Another aspect of that is that it is simple in terms of design. You can pick up a motor, put it on a tire, and it's a motorized vehicle. And if there is a very simplistic battery available, any person in a garage can assemble an EV vehicle. And moving forward, if that kind of simplicity can happen, then the production or assembly itself can be moved from very large factories and industries to small cottage industries. Cottage industries is where simplicity is. So if something gets simplified in design as to reach a cottage industry, that is the pinnacle of the product design. And I think that is something EVs can take up in future if things take a good turn, and hoping it can address some of the concerns and lead us to good sustainability in future. Two-wheelers, it's seeing an initial growth as far as India is concerned. It is the technology, the science, the physics is still to be understood in a large extent. It is barely in the nascent stages. And we don't even have a very good amount of two-wheeler specific literature available in the public domain. You have to create that science and technology from scratch in India, because Indian applications are completely different. Our roads are different, our driving styles are different. So the dynamics and the considerations and dynamics are completely different from Indian scenario. And that's what we have been doing at TVS right now. We have been handling the physics of the tires and relating it to the rider experience and going back and forth. And we have been developing it from scratch, and I still feel we are in nascent stages. And it will take some time to where we'll be actually be able to put out designs that will address customer concerns and issues and desires. Definitely possible, and the possibility is all about how well and how the extent of the implication. Now, the TPMS came in because the extent of the customer experience drove that change. And now this particular feedback on tires behavior, when there is a poor or misunderstood vehicle design or maintenance concern, then the tire faces a difference too. And that aspect has to be captured by the tire, and that is a really smart tire thing.
Yes.
And we should start working on it, but the technology required for that is of a higher end. And maybe once the companies start getting this kind of feedback on at least some regular intervals, we should start working on it. When there is an interaction of the vehicle with the tire, and an external mechanic has an effect on it, and there is some change on it, this is a very subtle aspect, and which can have a major implications on the tire performance. That has to be considered, and that can be a pain area for the customer, and that aspect has to be worked upon, and I guess it can be taken up.